Hello. How's everybody out there doing? I was just think about making this video, and it occurred to me about people who are prejudiced. No matter what they look like, they're prejudiced. And you have some individuals who out there, it could be from any walks of life, that are prejudiced. And you have people who don't like people who, for some strange reason, have a low, very opinion of them. And as long as I made a couple videos like this in the past couple of years. I always say that if you don't like a group of people, why go around them? I mean, it's just simple. I just don't understand people who are prejudiced, who have to act out their prejudice, and it leads to them being racist. And if you don't have a certain demographic of people you don't like, don't go around them. I mean, there's certain people that if they don't like black people, and it's not just white people, but if it's other people, I don't go around them. I learned that, because I ain't gonna change nothing about my skin to please you, because you can't accept the reality that I'm a black man, and I ain't shaming my skin, I ain't shaming my color, and if you can't adjust your reality, I'm at a point in my life, it's like you really don't care. It used to sometimes I used to wonder why when I was younger, but you can't help something that God put on your skin. You can't help that. You can't help that God put you in the skin that you're in. He designed it. He designed us to what we look like, how tall we are. Sometimes it depends on the way we eat too much. It all depends on what height, what weight, what your family background. No one has a choice. But as long as we live in this planet together, I think some people need to grow up and get used to it. And that's my personal feeling on it. And it's sad that people, and it's actually disgusting at the same time sad, that they use their behavior to justify being prejudiced. They get to a position to justify being prejudiced. And just in times past, since the early days, you can go back to 2,000 years. Somebody like one group of people coming from one part of the world, and so they feel like they come from a background where they don't have too much influences and power, political power, financial power, and anything else. And that motivates it too. But at the same time, people are prejudiced. Study people are prejudiced. You got some of the other people that want to come around and they think that they should flourish. And there's a lot of people. There are people out there that are against black people. Let's just say we're gonna point the most common one in this country is black people. And I'm not just gonna make it a black and white thing, because there's other nationalities don't like black people. Don't want to associate with black people, don't want to be in a room with black people. And the feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual. If that's the way they feel, because I ain't changing, and I ain't asking God, the Most High God, creator of heaven and earth, to change my skin to please somebody that think that they are above me. And if they don't like it, tough. But at the same time, ain't no sense to going in their business around the environment to help them flourish. And I just don't understand that. And black people are a unique people because no matter, there's a side of us that no matter what we do, no matter what they do to us, we forgive them and we'll go come back and psychologically we'll support them. And even when we forget, in some cases, some black people forgive when the person's being a devil and don't even ask for their forgiveness. And they just want to perpetuate, be evil. So when you have somebody, a man or woman, say maybe we should separate, it gets a little backlash. Why you want to separate? Well, because obviously this person thinks I'm trying to get away from these people so we can have some sort of peace, because this person can't adjust their reality, and what they come out of this sector of people, and they can't seem to accept that there's other people around them, and they can't seem to accept that people, you're going to come across them in some form or fashion, whether it's going into a business, or whether it's going into education, or whether it's something that's medical. You're going to come across somebody who's different than you. But these individuals have a disdain, prejudice, and to me it doesn't make no sense. And there was a time in my past and I couldn't understand, and I fellowship with some people. And one thing about people, I mean, I've had to help to people that look like me too. You know, I mean, anybody can be so self-absorbed and you're not part of the club kind of mentality. Anybody can be like that. That go across the board. But it's something that the bigger picture is that they can't open up the eyes and see that if someone's different than you and they're from a different culture, a different aspect, a different individual, it's too bad that they can't rationalize their reality. To know that there are people that's going to be different, who speak a different language, have a different custom, different culture, because that's what America is really about. America, it is. America is about different cultures, different languages, different customs. And you have a choice to be in your part of the world. But prejudiced people, they don't seem to understand that. And really, it's got to be an awful feeling to be a prejudiced person. It's got to be an awful feeling that you got to denigrate and feel like you have to be over somebody because they don't meet to your standard. And when something goes wrong and in the community of people, you have something to complain about and say, you know, what they doing? They spoil like anybody else, and they don't see the bigger picture. And then when someone tells them the truth and talk to them and show them evidence, and I've seen people online showing video after video after video about atrocities and the reason why this thing have never vanished away. And you should see some well-known YouTubers and social media people from Facebook or Instagram. They show it, Twitter too. Try to show the people this is how it, and they just can't get it. And they just can't. Well, that's them people, because maybe if they would do this and do this, maybe they wouldn't bring on this. You got some people probably got that kind of mentality out there. Even though if the person, this individual who get murdered, unjustly, they still will find a way to hate that person. And so, you have, with a prejudiced person, there's no way of changing them. And I always say this in times past: people who are prejudiced, you can pray for them. That's the only thing you can do is pray for them. Because if they don't change their heart, they're going to be at the way to Jesus' eye. And this go across every race of man, every race of woman, every race of man, that pass it down to the child. And that's truth. And if they don't change their heart and they die out with that hatred in their heart, when they die out in their repentance for the prejudice that they do, then whenever their time is up on earth, just let it be known they ain't going to be in heaven if they don't repent and change their mind is in the earth. That's a fact, and God's equal on that. He's equal. He's an equal opportunity God on that one. And so no matter where you go, it don't matter. Even if you're supposed to be whatever religion or way, a pathway. When your time is up in your body, it's equal. You got the same thing common with everybody else. We were born when we came through a mother's womb, and we die. We all gonna die when we go to the grave. It don't matter if it's the rich grave, the poor grave, and anything else in between. All of us. So that's the reality. But and another reality is when your body go in the casket after they do your funeral session or your wake session. We won't know on this other side of the plane where your soul and your spirit gonna go. So like I say, it's to the prejudiced person. You got a lot to think about. You got a lot to think about. If you can't stand somebody based on experience, and you just got this high certain kind of opinion, and you want to execute your prejudice because you want to oppress somebody who you think is not financially stable than you, so you feel like you can oppress them because you feel like you have the willpower to do it. And you feel like you can play a god over them. You ain't no god. And the God that think that you in your mind think that you is, you ain't it. I don't care what part of the world I don't care how big the army they got. I don't care how big the technology they have. There'll never be one individual on this planet greater than the Most High God who created all of us. So you get over the fact that there's some people he was born with intelligence from all walks of life, and there's some are not. Most of us are in between. But you don't have the right in this life to sit up there and play and think that you're some kind of superiority crap. And then you're the individual when it's reflected at you from another prejudiced person don't like you. Then you say, well, why can't it be the blacks is to do it? It's those blacks you should hate, not us. There's some people who are like that. And when prejudice is reflected back at them, when racism reflected in some form or fashion, because everybody wants to, and it's like I said, everybody wants to dominate and go for the resources, because it's whoever controls the most, who has least the most out of people that more a certain percentage of people in poverty, they want the many people in poverty, they feel like they get a hierarchy mindset. There are some people that operate like that, and they do. So my suggestion is that there's certain parts of the places in the world I wouldn't go someplace and go to their country. One place is China. I wouldn't go to China One reason why is because the air is polluted. Number two is the communist country. Number three, I said. Number three is that hey, I mean, you look at the way they treat different people. They want to prosper off of people, but they don't have a like and love for people. I'm not saying all of them don't do that, but it is a small percentage that do. But it's a small percentage that tell them that their God that looks like them is better than anybody else. It's that's my mindset, and then it's like it's sad. Well, that's one of the reasons why I want to go. And then you have a lot of them when they go to a certain part of the world, like they go to Africa or the Caribbean or one of those countries, they start getting this complex like some of these other people do. They're superior over somebody because they go to some people that maybe the technology and the land ain't up to date. So they feel like they want to play God over them. And I just don't understand it. And then it's the same way here in America. And I'm just pointing this out that they get a God complex. And they're not the only one. There's a couple other people like too. If you don't like the people who are poor, why do you keep coming around people and want to progress off the people that do? Why don't you keep your prejudice behind where you at? Why do you leave your country or leave your state if you're in the state? Why you leave your city? Why you leave your little area? Stay there. And I don't understand when it comes to us why we keep trying to fit in with people we don't click in. And they showing you they have mocked you in every way. They have mocked your culture. They have laughed at you, scoring at you. But when it comes back to them, they don't like it. The ones who have that prejudice. Not like I said, it's not all people. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying the ones that do in that culture, and that's just one of the cultures. I mean, and there's certain places in the Middle East that I don't understand it. I seen something recently where you have someone in Saudi Arabia is holding people hostage and beating them, and submitting them. Here we are in the 21st century, and they beating somebody who left their political land and made willing to work. And here that they got the nerve that some people like the Saudis want to play God over somebody. And being God. And in some of these countries, I would want to step foot in them. Because that's your way of mentality. For some of you, and that's prejudice. Not only that's prejudice, is a systemic racism, lynching, and you see other people. And my heart goes out to the people who's trying to flee their country, trying to make their life. And all it is that they get beat down and be put as a slave. You got certain people out of different parts of Africa that go. They go for, even though they're coming in illegally, but people keep them as illegal slaves. And there's a couple of other people, and then and so with some of these countries, I wouldn't even want to step in them because they have the mentality. They think that they're above somebody. They have a mentality that like just because someone don't have the resources, they have the mentality. So these individuals, I'm saying they need to stand there. I said, we as people, I wish someone would wake up. I don't go around people that don't like me no more. I'm to the point. That's how I feel. I don't go around them. They don't go around me. If they don't like me, I go around it. Because even though I can confess I love the Most High and I love through His Son, you find out there's some people that they don't think the same way. I even been to church with people that had to display the same attitude, and they thought they were superior to you, and they just disdain you. I mean, black people worldwide is one of the people that everybody feel like they just got this disdain for. and even people that speak that look like about my complexion in their own country, they have a disdain for it. They don't have no reverence to it. In fact, they would just let them to keep them in the closet and don't let them don't say nothing in the background. But these same people got that kind of mindset, whatever part of the world they come from. I don't be bothered with those people. Because if they do that to someone that look like me and speak their language in their country, what you think they're going to do when they come over? They're going to have the same mindset when they come over here. And then they want to get next to people who have the nice areas, the political connections, so they can sit next to those people and feel like they're just as empowered that they are. And because some of those people open up the door for them to come to this country, and they had opportunities to come here. And so then they get to a hierarchy mindset, and then you have, and it's just over other people. And then they just get. I have seen it when they come into this inner cities. I've been out in their territories, and it's just like wow. And you can just tell why some people they just got this arrogance about them. And I tell you one thing, this COVID-19 shook everybody's reality up, and I'm glad it's going to eventually shake people who are prejudiced like that up. I'm glad it is. I'm glad it's going to shake their reality up, because they and you know what, it's going to really think twice, because when you thought you was superhuman and super intelligent and super power and super everything, find out that whatever you've been worshiping, whatever being you've been idolizing, ain't come to answer nothing from you. And that's what I say to the prejudiced person. But I picked those countries because I mentioned earlier, because of I just don't understand. I don't understand why, as an American, I wouldn't go over there, and I wouldn't go someplace like a Korea, North Korea, or whatever. If I don't go over there, I mean, I can go down countries I definitely wouldn't want to go as an American citizen, because I mean, it's not only you can obey and have to go with the laws, but which I don't have no problem with that. But it's the mentality that they have, and they're not used to it. It's something different, because they're used to people looking like them, and even though they see other people in the part of the world that's different than them, they, it's like they can't adjust their reality. And so why would I want to go around some people that can't adjust their reality to understand that there's somebody on the other part of the planet that is different than you are, and it don't make it seem like whatever their living condition is and whatever their culture they come from, you are better than them. I mean, there's some people that think that I'm just using that as an example. Just because someone live in a rainforest or someone live in a Papua island, they go there with this hierarchy, superior attitude, because these people live on an island. And these people will probably welcome you if you come with a good attitude. But you come over, you scheming and scheming. It's the kind of, I can't stand prejudiced people like that. Arrogance. I don't want to be around them. If I ever sense that they are like that, I don't even want to go near them. And I know how to spot them too, because they got certain arrogance and attitude that people display. And prejudiced people, they're like that. So, and it's like it's just something to make mockery of. Even some people they will run, that have lost their position, lost jobs, lost business because they being prejudiced. And just said, well, let me go on. These are most low grade people. We just make some insult and joke on them. And that and they said, I didn't know it was that bad. You knew is that bad. You wanted to get attention. You knew when it's going to come out your mouth, you was prejudiced. Well, it was gonna cause some conflict in some part of the world. I mean, it's common sense. Some people they do it because they want to get attention. That's why some people do it. Anybody would get a laugh at. So when all these racial incidents that you see, that's people trying to get some on some demonic attention. That's all what it is. People just want to get attention because they don't know how to get other attention. So they go opposite of what they do. And it's envious and jealousy mixed in together. So they take the envious and jealousy of them being prejudiced and mix that together. And so they take it on some people who maybe they may have come across one individual in his lifetime. And so there's then sense, and we know, let's say it's black people, everybody know that what they get on this kind of hierarchy mindset. And he's like, why? And some people, aren't we all people? Yeah, we're all people, but prejudiced people don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. And they think that anything that looks like them, talks like them, act like them, must be them. Anything that have more power that look like them must be all right. Anything that don't look like them that have power is something else. And it's a mind in a mind frame. There was a young man down I saw down in, it was like Pikeville, Kentucky, and I mean this one was told him straight to his face. He was out with his friends he went to a canoeing place in Pikeville, Kentucky. And this woman just come out and just tell them that this is for free white people only. This happened in the 21st century in Pike 2020 and I saw this on Facebook. I should have got it and uploaded it. And he said we all should. He couldn't understand it. He was hurt that nobody, and he was mixed race. And he's 21 years old. And I'm like, young man, and I felt bad for him because I felt the same way as white people. People are people, yeah. But you see, there's just about as many ugly people it is our good people. And you're gonna come across the ugly people in ugly places. And then some people and then in America, some people don't want to correct someone that look like them. Not too many people want to be a stand-up person and stand up to the person that's being prejudiced. And they know why they're being prejudiced. But it stomachs them that they can't imagine someone that look like them telling them stop being prejudiced. And it activate, and I think it goes back to the laws of this country that everybody, the other people can consider, but the blacks are not considered under the amendment, that they're not human. And I think that what played out when it comes to the police shootings and shooting armed civilians, not the ones that cause crime, not the ones that do. I'm talking about the ones that cause the havoc. But but the ones who cause crime. I mean, the ones who don't cause crime, they become a victim of circumstances. And one thing about some people don't understand, it's not about your sexuality more so right now. It's more about skin color. I mean, is there some place in this country that are still against you because whatever your sexuality is, if you're in an alternative lifestyle? Yeah, there are some people like that. It's going to find some pockets of that. But now, is it that the person of their sexuality are now in 2020 under a protective class? So if they're lesbian or they're gay, anything, if they say anything, that person can be prosecuted by federal charges, and they can lose credentials or get sued and lose in court because you said something about someone who's transgender, a man transitioning to a woman transitioning to a man, bisexual, lesbian, gay men. So right now, they're the class that got it made. They have it made right now. And they can't be discriminated against on jobs. They can't be discriminated against in business. They can't be discriminated against in housing, anything. You can't discriminate against them because they're gay. They got every right. They got benefits for this. They're married couples or gay couples. You can't discriminate against them. But, and then, if it was this many people that were them, then it would be cops losing their job. If there was gay people that have been black people over this many time, they've been doing some longer sentences. But we know that's not gonna happen because it's not about that. Even though there has been some gay people that have died, it was like a few people that there was a hate crime, and they got punished. Trust me, the ones that did. Whoever got caught killing a transgender person, they got caught, they got sentenced to life. So, and they was able to catch the person who did that. And in fact, the one guy that shot up the club in Orlando, Florida, where mostly alternative gay people going to, of course, he died, but there was consequences for it. So we can't. So gay people are already covered. This is coming down to skin. This comes down to whether you're a female who loves men, you're a man that loves women, and then you're married to a woman married to a man, that a boy love like a girl. They're the ones right now being taken out because someone operating under prejudice. And prejudiced people could be in any occupation. Prejudiced people could be could be a judge, attorney, police officer, city council. We have seen cases after cases over the internet. You name it. There was some kind of position of authority, or some influential people, or some that were really not. Prejudiced people is like that. So it's a solution to deal with prejudiced people. For me, is to avoid them and them to avoid me. But if I had to say this to a prejudiced person, stop going around people you don't like. Move away to people you don't have around. Put up a sign in your yard. Go and say, no, well, I don't. And if you get any service, the person have to look like you. So no, because just say, and just come out and just say, because I'm prejudiced. I wish someone be that direct. They're prejudiced. It's like, damn, you can understand this person, even though like they're being a jerk, but at least you know where they're coming from. Not when something happened. And why is it that the prejudiced people always live in the most integrated areas with other people? If you're prejudiced, go out on the outskirts where the other people was at, where there's already limited no people. And trust me, if they know that you're prejudiced, they're not coming out there. Some of the people that you disdain, you don't like. If I had to say this to a prejudiced person, like there's you go any place and say we seclude ourselves. That's what other groups of people do. Even though I don't think they're prejudiced, but they seclude themselves. And I say, hey, if they say we're prejudiced, we don't want to mix race with any other people, you might not like it, but that's their right. I mean, it's crazy, but it is. Because as long as that they don't come around and let them stay out there with it and with their mindset. Let them deal with that. Don't try to change them. Don't try to start confronting, fight with them. Leave them alone. Lead them to their own little island, their own little land. That's what you do with prejudiced people. Leave them alone. Because going up there and beating somebody up, let someone attack you that's prejudiced. Then you got a right to defend yourself. But other than that, don't. I would say don't try to change them. There's only one that can change them. Is the one that can give the insight. That's the one. Our Father through His Lord Jesus Christ. That's the only one that can change them. You can't change them. You can't guilt shame them. They're gonna die with that prejudice that's gonna manifest to hatred and bigotry. And no matter what part of the world they come from. But I'm telling if you part of the people, don't go around those people. And I wish that and I know for a young person that can't understand that, because I understand. And there was times that I thought people were Christians, that they said that they were for Christ, but I saw a different form of prejudice. And I've been around people whether they had a house church or a home church. And I was around because I was one of the only few in the crowd. And that prejudice started coming out in different ways. They're trying conservative, but at the same time, they isolating themselves. And this is what happened. I seen this happen. I was at a white church, and I seen this happen at a Hispanic church. I'm saying that all of them like that? No, there was some beautiful people that were like that. But later on, it was just that, and really, it started at the top with the shepherd, because of things that he would say, and not think about it. And it's really something. That's one thing he's gonna have to answer to the Most High, because the Most High, when I stepped in his church, and this was the Hispanic brother, he was saying, I'm going to bring my nations through this church. But in his actions, it's almost like, well, I'm just going to cater to the Hispanic population. He didn't have to say that, but that's what his demeanor was. And I gave him the right to say whatever he knew, what he could say in Spanish. But it wasn't what the Father wanted. This particular church was picked out of all, and there are other Hispanic churches, but God selected this church, the Most High, and I was sent into that church. And when the Holy Spirit showed up, He spoke, and he translated to them in English and Spanish. They still didn't get it. And some of them that had that prejudice, God had to weed some of them out. And I stayed there for a while, but it came down to, and then the Spirit, every time we get into pray, we get the spirit of division. The Holy Spirit speaking this. Oh, we got to come together. No, pastor, it's you. And some pastors don't want to take this into account, that it starts at the head, whatever the head is doing. Then he talks to the body. He don't just talk to the body. He deals with the head and the body. So this is what I witnessed. Prejudice. There was one time I was at someone's house church. They were white. They claimed that they love Jesus, but it was. So I go out there and I said, "Oh, you love Jesus?" So we sit around. But these particular people had so much prejudice, they wouldn't even make a conversation. And I fellowship with them for 3 weeks to a month. Never, they wanted fellowship. I can't believe he's here. And in fact, I don't know what was said, but this was the funny part. Because they thought they was getting away from me and this couple other people that looked black. So they went to this other part of town where I'm from. They went to the next town over. And there was a part in the town where it was mostly white. So they figured that just gonna go roll on it. Go on it. But they kind of find out that the people didn't like them because they was from the city, and they were white. And they didn't like these white people. Didn't like these other white people because they come from the city. And I see and how I knew is when I went to their website. Right after I left, it was about a year or two later after I left. I laughed my ass off. So much I did. I laughed my butt off because it serves them right. Because they try to be slick with it. You know. See, some people don't think that God choose who He want to choose. Without, you know, I mean, he do have some. That's why I said all Chinese people and all the South Asian people, because I know He got some people over there. But what I'm pointing out is that if there's some people that's among them people that are prejudiced, why keep them? Why make them flourish? That's all what I'm saying. And so I just want to get that. I want to clear that up. Like, oh man, he's trying. No, I'm trying to make a point here. Because you can't hide something when you're prejudiced. It's going to come out in some form or fashion. Someone's going to pick up on it. You know, you can weed it one, and that's the problem. That's the problem with some people. You know, they want to hide the evil. You can't hide evil no more. It's because sometimes the devil make you slip up. When you're trying to hide it, he'll help you. He'll make you slip it up. Whatever's on your mind, just like he did with this one pastor. Start making some comment about black women's hair. One time, like what the heck? Where that come from? And I mean, with just little subtle comments like this. I mean, sit it over the pole after I just got done teaching a lesson. And my friend was there. A friend of mine and I was there. And she picked up on like, wow. But you see, and it's sad because there's some people that left the church. Not just black, but other people too. And he got what the people that he wanted around him. But I imagine so that but the sad thing about it, God might not be there. And what these prejudiced people don't know, some of them could be Christians, don't know. If God is not there, His Spirit, He give you a spirit of a spirit of what they call that, and there's some churches are operating right now, and he be like God, and He's not even there. His kingdom is not even there. He's not even hearing it, because they haven't changed their heart. They haven't changed their ways. And at some point, you know, and he sends prophet after prophet just to change this person who has this prejudice sign. Change your heart, but they refuse it. And when you stand before with the same people, you stand before the Lord, He's going to show them. Why did you think the way you do? Why did you repent the way you do? I don't like that people. It's best that you say, you know what? I was wrong. I admit it. All right, because obviously He's gonna reach to some of these people at some point. So why you be at some point? I come to the point. Why you be prejudiced? When He's gonna reach them at some point, there's somebody in that group of people He's gonna reach at some point. And you don't have a lick of common sense to figure this out. You think that it's going to be a black heaven, a white heaven, a Latino heaven, an Asian heaven, an Hispanic, an Eastern, whatever. No. Not in this heaven. When you come accord, you come as one. You that division crap ain't gonna go up there. That's truth. That's fact. So you can keep worshiping among who you prefer among your own people. You can be like your own people. You got that choice. You have that. You have that choice. You can prosper and be around your own people. But if you got that prejudice towards other people, how you think that's gonna turn out? Because we only got so many amount of years in this planet to live. This is what I gotta say to the prejudiced person. Think about it. How many years? So you don't, and you don't have the common sense enough to know that there's another human being on the planet, not to be subjected to you, not that you have a superior, the inferior thoughts over it. Oh, you superior, they inferior to you. That's the wrong mindset. Because it's like anything. There's a heaven, there's a hell. There's a right and there's a wrong. The sun shines on the righteous and on the unrighteousness. The rain shines on the rain when you step outside. So what makes you think you're superior, prejudiced person? What makes you think you're superior? And even though you accumulate wealth, you can't take it to eternity and enjoy it forever. You got so many type of years and enjoy your wealth in this planet. And it's like my spiritual mentor to me, one day all this is gonna burn up anyway. And he's gonna create a new earth. Maybe, I don't know, to the prejudiced person, I can't change you. And if you know anybody get this video who's prejudiced, tell them this. I can't change you, but he definitely can change you. And if you don't like me because of my skin, too bad. Take it up with him. Same way I would be if it was towards these other people. But here's the difference. I ain't superior to you. You ain't superior to me. No matter how much education you got, no matter what status of the United States you in, no matter who your mom and daddy know, who you went to school with, because at the end of the day, I say you see what's happening, and we don't know what our circumstances gonna bring. No matter if I'm in the grave of you in the Coliseum, buried. That's reality at one day. This is what I gotta tell you to the prejudiced person. You don't know what your tomorrow's gonna bring. You think that you ride high, being superior, someone to look like me, and you could be at the bottom, looking up. It could be in this earth. It could be at any time. Because he control all things. He let the enemy run rampant right now, but he still control all things. And some of you people who got that prejudice, you're up under the satanic system, who discriminate, who makes presumptions. You is up under Satan kingdom right now. It's you that say the things in the dark. It's you that can speak behind the computer. It's you. But even though I can't see you, he can see you. I can't see you. He can see you. And he's going to take note. This is to the prejudiced person. This is to the racist and the prejudiced. And then maybe you might survive, but in the end, your survival here is to deal with some, like we all surviving every day. But wouldn't it be something if you was prejudiced and the one that was supposed to come back one day, and half of the third of the earth disappeared, and you was part of the third that had to fight for survival? How would it feel? It was nothing but you racist people down here, you bigoted, prejudiced people down here. What would it be like What would it be like, all you bigoted, prejudiced people that want to be prejudiced, and then you execute on your prejudice to the point that even he make you suffer, but you can never die because you're prejudiced. You might have some kind of ailment. You're going to wish you would die and went on with the other people, but you can't because you choose to hate. You choose to despise somebody who don't look like you. And you choose to activate. And those people who persecute, those people that's from Africa and them other countries, oh, God got your number. That's in them countries right now and persecuting people and playing like they, oh, God got your number. You just don't know it yet. And I don't care. And it looks like they have a lot. Someone like China do, but they know God, because He's gonna, just like any other nation, He can wipe them off the planet and take a certain percentage and wipe the rest of them off the planet if He wants it. They think that because they can do things in the dark and doing things in a language that no one knows their language. But you forget, I'll just say to them, you dealing with something, you don't know what you're dealing with. And many people who are like you in them other nations, persecuting, dominating, beating, subjecting other people. Your time is coming. Those you have your bondage and slavery, whatever's going on in some part where there's people in bondage, slavery, your time is coming. Oh, there's a place waiting for you. And God forbid, if He lets the devil and death take you out, you be right down there with him. And let's go for the ones that's in them countries that's doing that to these people right now. So you might have the inheritance of the wealth, but that wealth can burn up. It's even in the Bible. But only if you knew that the ones you persecuted, put in slavery, and any man on this planet have done it out of hatred and of other people, subjugate people, torment people, is going to pay the price. And you're going to get the worst of the worst. You're going to be put probably to the farthest bottom of the pit of hell that you ever can be. Because all the persecution you thought you were God. That can persecute people. Don't you know that there was people like you that have been on this earth for over 6,000 years, probably close to 6,000. And every time some corrupted, demonic leader, dictator do what he do, whatever part of the world, he always suffered a terrible ending. But the part of the ending isn't go, you ain't gonna see him in heaven. Because you go to the person worse than something worse is in this earth. You think the worst weather that we experience, the most extreme temperature is worse in this earth? You think the storm's worse in earth? Wait till you in eternity. Prejudiced person. Wait till you are in eternity. Wait till you get to eternity. And you got to do it before one day, 1,000 years. And those people on live will never know your existence. So that's the message to the prejudiced person. Your days of tyranny is over. And you keep operating up under a devil. Because tyranny is a bitch, because you're going to be his bitch when you get down there into the pit like a fire. When your time is up on earth, whenever that time what may be. That's what I got to say to the prejudiced person who has an envious spirit, who has a racist spirit, a murdering spirit, and he will never repent. And he's going to keep that into his grave. To people like that, you're going to find out prejudice. You are. No matter what part of the world you're from, no matter what your excuse from, about your past, whatever. No, you have time to change your heart. But you choose not to change your heart. That's what's going to happen to the prejudiced person, the racist person. They don't change their ways. If they murder, they might get by, but they don't get away. You won't get by. You won't get away. You will pay in some time in this life. Just like everybody else. And you're going to wish you haven't. Because there's ways of tormenting somebody. And then when you leave this world, you go to your torment and be tormented for eternity. Because you tormented and you did other people on the planet. Watch how the way you treat people in this planet. That's what I would say. Your tyranny is up. You're doing things that being crafty and cunning crafty is up, prejudiced person. It's up. It's a wrap. That's what we're seeing. This world. And no one's going to escape it. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, that's how I feel about that. About people with prejudice. Just what people who have that prejudice that go into that operation of racist, bigotry, racist, envious to jealousy, jealousy to murder. That's one of the things that they go in a cycle. Because that's what that leads to. And they steal, kill, and destroy. And they operate like they father the devil. But in the end, they're gonna pay just about worse as they father the devil. Believe when I say that. But I just want to wish y'all a good day, good evening, and be blessed out there. And if you know somebody, tell them to change their heart. Stop being prejudiced, or else that's their option in the end. Because they ain't going to live on forever being prejudiced. That's a fact. That's truth. So until next time, you all take care and have a pleasant evening.